Hello, my name is Kent Philpott, and I have been working on a book that covers Santeria, Wicca, Charisma, contemplative prayer, and in preparing this work and doing my background research, I kept coming across a very large topic that really is the underpinning and the basic concepts behind many of these religions I've been talking about, the Santeria and Wicca in particular, but others as well. And so I was not intending to do any work on shamanism, which is the subject of this series of videos, but I was forced to do it. In fact, I have to make Shamanism chapter number 1. So I prepared a 22-page piece of work. It's 14 font, so it's not going to be that long. But anyway, I'm here to present this series of YouTubes, maybe 4 or 5, I hope not 6, but something like that, on this very important topic. So I want to begin now with the introduction to shamanism. The shaman is able to work with spirits and has the power to usher a soul to heaven or retrieve a soul from hell. By means of ecstasy or a trance state or altered state of consciousness, the shaman connects with spiritual powers for healings and for the welfare of the community he serves. Now that is a person to be respected and feared. The origin and definition of the word shaman is variously described and may never be known exactly. More important, though, is what the shaman does. Spirit and soul. These terms are very closely related, almost identical, and are concepts that are essential to shamanism and arose out of what is called animism. Most shamans hold that human beings have more than one soul, the more the better. Animism, and this is an ism that actually forms the foundation for shamanism. From Wikipedia, we find that animism encompasses the beliefs that there is no separation between the spiritual and the physical world, and souls and spirits exist not only in humans, but in animals, plants, indeed all that is organic. Then, not only are these alive, these organic living creatures, they're alive with spirit and or soul, but also the inorganic is as well, like rocks, mountains, rivers, and other geographical and geological features. Examples of animism can be found in forms of Shintoism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, ancient paganism, Islam, Taoism, and what is known essentially as neopaganistic practices like Wicca. And there are also elements of shamanism in some forms that are identified with Christianity. Spirit, soul, or mind is in all, organic or inorganic. That is the whole crux of animism. And soul is in people and has an existence apart from the body. These are the underpinning concepts of shamanism. Spirit might be understood as energy, force, or that which is part of the supreme, the one, the all. The shaman is the priest from primitive eras who has survived into the modern age. Shamans are everywhere and operate in the world's largest religions. Shamanism may well be the most practiced religion or spiritual form in the entire world. But there's no individual known as a shaman in Islam or Buddhism, Hinduism, Sufism, Sikhism, Taoism, Shintoism, Christianity, and so on. But shamanism is there nevertheless, often in disguise, often incognito, but present still. Shamanism touches Christianity by connection with Santeria, though Santeria is not classified as part of the Christian religion. Santeria, that saint thing, having blended to a certain degree with Roman Catholicism with the Santeros, Babaloas, these shamanistic priests are often mistaken for Christian. Shamanism is present in Wicca. In fact, Wicca may be classified as a form of shamanism. Charisma does not involve shamans as such in name or in direct conscious practice, but does often connect with the trance state, without which there would be no shamanism, Santeria, or Wicca. Of course, it depends on who you talk to, but the underlying suppositions and worldviews are remarkably the same in each of these, or are at least connected in definite ways. I want to talk now about the origins of shamanism. Shamanism is global, and more so today than 10,000 years ago. Some say it spread by means of migration, as when the Siberian shamans crossed over the frozen bridge between present-day Russia and Alaska and so on down to the tip of Argentina. Others suggest it developed due to the trance state. Roger Walsh, Ph.D. as well as M.D., and author of my favorite book on the subject of shamanism, book titled The World of Shamanism, New Views of an Ancient Tradition, brings up the possibility that common human experiences such as, quote, isolation, fatigue, hunger, or rhythmic sound might lead to the discovery of altered states of consciousness. Mircea Eliade, the French anthropologist, whose book Shamanism is regarded as a classical work on the subject, concludes that shamanism developed in Siberia and Central Asia, somewhere in the Paleolithic area, thus is tens of thousands of years old, and spread through the world to all of Asia, Indo-Europe, Africa, and the Americas, from Alaska and all the way down, as I said, to the tip of Argentina. Perhaps both views, those of Walsh and Eliade, have validity and may have worked in unison. The seemingly universal quest for the altered states of consciousness may be the central factor for the similarity of expressions in shamanism, wherever they are found. It is in the trance or passive state that, in my view, a human is open to contact with spirits by whatever name. It is the nature of these spiritual entities that is the focus of this series of YouTubes, and of course will be the focus of my book. It is assumed, though most observers and practitioners are aware that not all spirits are beneficial, few see them as evil or linked to or identified with the demonic. Well, that will conclude part one, the first of our series on shamanism.